Hello and welcome back to the European Youth Cup here in Blockhouse in Graz for the 2023. We're here now for the juniors final. We had yesterday the Youth B final, and this is going to be preceded by the Youth A final later on at 12 o'clock. The athletes have had a previous observation of 8 minutes, about 2 minutes per boulder, and we're going to have the first contendants coming in 3 seconds. And there we see the first two athletes. That's going to be Maria Liponic from Poland and Nimrod Tuesday from Hungary. As we see on the bottom left, very technical balancing boulder, a lot of open doors. And on the very up side of the right side of the screen, we see Maria from Poland doing a pretty delicate slab. Those were the athletes with the worst result. There was a quota of 10 athletes been registering for the final, and there we see that was Nimrod doing the 1-2 flick. The route is thought about going a little bit slower to this boulder. It's kind of like a delicate of balancing, so you have two methods. You can go more on a dynamic way, but the intended idea I think is to go more slowly. And there we see the first start from Maria Liponic from top-end boulder number 1. The athletes has got 4 minutes per boulder, and then they go to rest for 4 minutes until they finish the rotation for 4 minutes. And let's see what Nimrod can do here. And he goes for the 1-2, a dynamic move, and this time sticks it. Already he's been awarded the zone. And let's see if he can get it. The top where he's stepping now is a pretty slippery foothold. And the very, very top hold, it's nothing to grab, but more to like touch. So you have to hold a very good position. And there we are. We see he's taking his chalk back. Good advice for anybody making a slab where you have to take some time. He needs to roll over his foot, and unfortunately he falls down. But still 2 minutes 30 to this athlete. Let's see if Nimrod Tuesday can do a little bit better. And there we see the whole wall of the boulders. First boulder of the man on the left. Let's see if Nimrod Tuesday from Hungary can do better, a water top. Yesterday's qualification was a pretty tough round, but he managed to get it through, and now we see him, this athlete. He has not been previously this year competing for any other European Cup, so we're really happy to see him here. And hopefully we're going to see another top from this young athlete. Making the quite hard step, reaching to the first hold. Again, going dynamically, and this time unfortunately not stepping. 1 minute left. And another go, probably going to be his last go. Going for the 1-2, big swing, and unfortunately doesn't get it. Another go for Nimrod Tuesday, this 19-year-old athlete from Hungary. Remember, you want to get the maximum amount of tops because they are the most valuable points, followed by the zones. This is the hold in the middle, or more or less in the middle, after the first crux. And that's how we rank the athletes. And coming on forward, we're going to have the second athletes from Austria, Ariane Franken, a 17-year-old girl. And from Norway, Raflo Per. He was 5th in Kaunas last month, and he qualified again for the final. Let's see if he can make it up today for the podium. We're going to have a split screen coming on. There you are. So we can see both athletes at the same time. No problem for Per Ravlo, nor for Ariane. Ariane was 7th in Soda and didn't compete in Kaunas. And an interesting try-off solution, that's I think how the route setters thought about it, from Per, where you go with the left to the zone and stop the swing and the open bando with the right hand against the wall. And Ariane, she needs to grab the zone hold and slowly reach to the top. And I think we're going to be able to see a close shot in camera 1. Let's see if we can get it. There we see a better shot. Rocking over, and it's a top from Ariane Franken, which manages to get a top on boulder number first, and first boulder from her rotation. Back to Per Ravlo. Let's see if we can see some more action in this first boulder here in Graz in Blockhaus for the 2023 Juniors final. Remember, this is the last European Cup before the championships. So anything that they can get in order to get a title for the overall would be perfect. And Per Ravlo going again. Let's see if he can change the method or going to go for the same crossover. Almost falls down, but this time keeps it on. And Per this time going with the right hand. Same method as Nimrod choose. Matching the zone hold. For sure it's been awarded. Rocks over, and this is a very slippery, delicate foothold. You need to stay pretty much on the wall. There's nothing to grab. The top is no hold. And it secures the top. First top of boulder number 1 from Per Ravlo from Norway. This 18-year-old young man. And 1 minute 20 to go. Remember, the time has to be consumed, otherwise it will be unfair for the people resting, the athletes resting in the isolation. Next we're going to have from Great Britain Edma Edwards. She's an 18-year-old athlete from Great Britain. And from Israel, Oren Prihet. Oren was 2nd in Kaunas last month. He didn't compete in Soria, and he qualified yesterday with a really good round. A pretty tough round. Let's see what he can make out of boulder number 1. This a perfect day, quite sunny, but there's a little bit of a breeze, so good temperature for the athletes, not too hot. Good crowded audience, and a really good vibe here in Graz in Austria for this European Youth Cup. My name is David Patterson, and we are live streaming on the Blockhaus channel. If you want to see some results and some of the moments, you can always tune in. We're going to probably have a little bit of a result update for all of you, and let's see if we can get it. There you are. Those are the male, as it shows. It's one top for the Norwegian athlete from Per and a zone from Tuesday. And let's see if we can get the female result going on. And here we are. That's Ariane Franken with one top and one from also from Maria. Both a zone, both a top, a flush. And let's see what we can get out of the next athletes. Remember, we're gonna carry the rotation first. Visualization of the second boulder for both the men and the women. Those are from Maria Lipkovic from Poland, Nimrod Tuznadi from Hungary. Gonna start the second boulder. They are using on the second boulder of the male the same kind of volumes that we're using yesterday, but a completely different movement. Let's see if both athletes can get something. Nice shot from Nimrod and Tuznadi, which is getting quite high up. And then we see Maria starting the boulder also on the lower part of the screen. You can see it. She has to swing, and Nimrod flying off the top. I'm not sure if Orden is trying is reading really well the boulder. He's got himself in a kind of awkward position. We're going to grab a word very soon with 2 of the route setters involved in this competition as soon as we can. But for now, let's stay because we see the young athlete Emma Edwards from Great Britain making it top, and that was a secure top, no problem. We're gonna have a close look at boulder number 3. Let's see if we can get it. And there we see a big close-up from this boulder, starting on the run and jump, holding this big sloper, swinging to the left, and then crossing. Let's see if Maria Lipkovic can get another go, and we can see a little bit more of the movement. Horrible sloper. But for now, Nimrod going to launch for the top. And pretty bad top. Hopefully we can see a close-up of this. And this time we see for sure Oren Prihet really much better the boulder. He needs to go, he's gonna go for the cross, goes for the 1-2, big open barn door. And let's see if Maria gets a bit more on this second boulder. 1 minute to go. She's been awarded a flash on the first boulder. She really wants here at top. Nimrod, again, he got already twice to the top hold. Didn't manage to stabilize. Remember, you only are awarded the top and a zone if you can stabilize. And unfortunately, falls down. Less than a minute to go, 20 seconds until we get the next rotation. Yesterday we had a word with Dirk Ulik, but let's see for now, because Maria Likovic is getting really high up on the last seconds, 3 seconds to go, and unfortunately doesn't quite get it. Pretty intense round. We're going to have the next athletes, Maria Appel from Germany and Timotej Romzak. And soon is going to join us Dennis Bale, the route setter, sorry, excuse me, involved in this competition. And here we see Dennis Bale. Hello, Dennis. Hello, how are you doing? How is the round going so far? Ooh, we almost just saw Anna Maria. Sorry, Ariane Franken on boulder number 2. Almost making it top. Maybe you can run us through a little bit through the ideas of these boulders which the climbers are climbing. Like, I think on the first boulder of the men was set by you principally, this idea. Maybe you can run us through, because we've seen people going with the left, with the cross method, just going water flick, a bit more dynamic. And another top on boulder number 1 for Timotej from Slovenia. Yeah, what was the intended idea? Were you thinking about going slowly, or was it more like a dynamic way? Yes. Yeah, and I mean, I was seeing you guys trying the boulders. Like the top is horrible. There's nothing to grab on. Um, are you planning to like do some kind of like stepping on the zone, or were you just thinking about just standing on this poor foothold? Uh, and are you expecting a kind of a hard round going on, or is it going to be like a more soft one? Because the qualifiers was pretty tough yesterday. Yes, let's see. Because Anna Maria Franken is reaching again to the top. And the first top of boulder number 2 being topped by the Austrian athlete Anna Maria Franken. Yeah, maybe you can run us through this boulder since we have it now on screen. What was the idea of going? Because we've seen also a couple of methods going on. We are hearing some comments from the live stream saying that there's not a beep being heard. I think we've had this issue yesterday, and some people told us that if you hear with some headphones, the root setters have been heard. So please wear some headphones if you're planning to listen to this co-commentate. We have no idea why this trouble is happening, but yeah. Please wear some headphones in order to hear the root setters. Yeah, apologies to everybody. This is a little bit of an inconvenience. We cannot do anything about it. We're quite limited with the material we've been provided to do this live stream. It was kind of like a rushed idea to do it, but yeah, we're trying to do our best in order to give you. And let's go, because we are now having Julian Wiemer from Austria and Amber Schiffens from Netherlands. How's the skiing going on, Dennis? Yes, I mean today the temperatures are a little bit fresher, I would say. Yeah, and we are having now the first view of the boulder number 3. Let's see if we can get a close-up on the female round. And our cameraman is there. There you are. Now we're seeing a big screen. There you are, boulder number 3 for the female round. Looks like a kind of a tricky boulder. Yeah. Yeah, lots of tries being spent on just the start. Hopefully we're going to be able to see a little bit more of Maria Lipovic. For now, we're seeing also Amber getting really close to the top. Is the idea to go with the left, like she's doing it, or were you thinking about like kind of doing a dead point with the right hand, going high up? And at top of her. And we're seeing also Julian Wimmer on boulder number 1. Kind of struggling to get the top. He's almost trying to grab it. And he's pretty successful, pretty happy about that. Pretty job. Hopefully we're going to be able to see a little bit of the results as they're going, because there's a lot going on. It's a little bit chaotic. We're having this semi-final round mode format where there's a lot of athletes going on. And yeah, as for the female, as it stands, we have Ariane Franken with 2 tops, the only female athlete with 2 tops, followed by Emma Edwards and Maria Livkovic. Let's try to get the male. Yeah, as the male are coming, there you are. Awesome techniques. From Norway with 1 top and 2 zones, followed by Tusnadi Nimrod from Hungary. The differences between attempts. And followed by Timotheus with 1 top only. But of course he's not been followed on his rotation, so yeah. A lot happening on this boulder. And we're gonna see the Polish athlete on her 3rd boulder, last minute probably going on. Dennis, you were also setting some European Youth Cups this year, right? And have you been also setting in Sode or in in Kaunas? What do you think is the difference between the level? Because they have had now a couple of weeks to adjust, a couple of weeks to train some things that maybe they were tested and they were not so good. Do you see an improvement in the level? Yeah, actually the CEO from BLOC was telling us yesterday that they haven't had so many actually athletes taking place ever. It's been pretty much one of the biggest competitions they have had till now. So pretty happy that you have a lot of strong athletes coming to being tested on your boulders. And because you have 4 boulders, what was your idea of testing them? Do you go for like, okay, we're gonna make a round tricky, or we're gonna make it physical? Okay, so it's never a boulder of one person. It's always like a kind of like a teamwork where you get different ideas. Yeah, sounds pretty kind of a complex process. And we're having a view at the 3rd boulder from the men's round. This is Per Raflo from Norway. Really cool move, lambada kind of a swing into this press. Looks really tricky. Yeah, we just caught on the corner of the camera the German athlete. I believe that was Maria Appel from Germany, almost stopping the boulder number 2, but unfortunately falling down. Yeah, so run us through what is the following part of this 3rd boulder of the men. Like you have this kind of like flashy fast way and what comes afterwards. There's so many movements in such a small space. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I think it's last seconds, and it's the top on the last 5 seconds from the German athlete Anna Maria Appel. We're going to be now having 2 more athletes. I believe this is going to be the Spanish athlete Iciar. She was first in Kaunas, actually. Have you seen any difference on her performance from Kaunas to yesterday on the qualifiers? Yep. And we've seen actually Louise Flockhart from Great Britain, boulder number 1. I believe we've missed Iciar on the last round. But here we're seeing a pretty good start for this athlete. Kind of like the easiest round. And for the number 4 for both the men and the women are being showed on this big overhang. Yesterday was a little bit too hard set. Are you expecting people to be able to top these boulders? Because yesterday was a pretty hard round at the end on the very overhanging. Unfortunately, no tops for both the men and the female and the youth B. Yeah, I guess it's quite hard to get it, and we just saw a top from Louise Flockhart, and we're gonna see a little bit of a close-up of this big overhang, and the Hungarian athlete choosing to brush this top. It looks like a kind of a crazy boulder because you have 4 tapes on this very big green hold. Is this meant to be held, or what was the idea of this? It looks kind of confusing. And there we see almost snatching the hold. Yeah. And what about for the women? Also more in a physical way in the end. And then we see a big close-up. A round kick to the round. Yeah, it's like a swing to this big banana, I think. It's very steep, really tilted. And now going for a hook. Where you guys, do you see this happening? This hook that just Nimrod managed to do? Was this a possibility you thought about on the first boarded? Hopefully we can see a replay from Nimrod. Oh, big fall onto the floor. And And last seconds of the boulders. We're going to have a new rotation. It's going to be Marie-Lou Sommer from Switzerland and Etienne Apriat from France. And all athletes choosing to brush. And here we see Iciar Martinez on the first boulder and the Slovenian athlete going for the third boulder. Timotej Romsak and Iciar Martinez. Yeah, so you guys are kind of a diverse group, coming from different countries, Austria, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Germany. How is the communication? Lost so many languages going on. Is it easy to communicate? Is it a bit of a challenge sometimes? We just saw a corner, the first top of boulder number 3, and I believe that was Anna Maria Appel, sorry, from Germany. But yeah, you said English is the best communication for all you guys. This is also not your first time in Graz. I believe you have been in the BLOC summer last year, setting boulders. Kind of a different stadium for everybody, different scene, different level. How does it differ this from just normal competition, not an official IFSC? Are the boulders harder, a little bit easier? And yeah, Per Raflo going again for this heel hook method on boulder number 4. And here we've seen Ariane Franken on her 4th boulder. Not quite stabilized in the top. They have still about 1.5 minutes to go. So the route as a team was led by Dirk Ulik, Jakob Christopher, Jan Heiko Marischwasser, David Zavacci and Dennis Bale. You also have 2 athletes which came to test. That was Johanna Ferber and Maximilian Lenz. And also you had 1 person route setting a little bit, which was Georg Palmer, an ex-athlete. I guess this is quite nice to have some help, some testing, as energy and skin is running low. And the first stop of boulder number 4 from I think that was the athlete Ariane Franken from Austria. Looks super strong on this boulder. So far, a lot of tops. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Guess you guys made the right decision this year, today. We're gonna come to the next rotation. 9th athlete, Julie Romancroix from France, and Matteo Marobin, also from France. 10 athletes could get into this final, and this year was a little bit the same as last year. Some kind of a new style of the qualifiers where they climb in 3. They have 6 boulders as in qualifiers, where they have 3 boulders, then they stop for 1 hour, and then they come again. But they also get some videos for observation. Are you a fan of this? It's a little bit of a different strategy, I guess, for everybody. Yeah, I was actually talking yesterday to Ilya Ausbeck from Austria, which qualified for later on at 12. And he also didn't quite like the idea of having videos because you lose a little bit of this creative side where you're finding your own method. Also like the idea of stopping and then having to warm up again and coming back can be quite exhausting. You have 2 runs, maybe one goes really well, one goes really bad. I guess it becomes a little bit more of a technical, tactical game rather than just fighting through one whole round. You have to like calm down, forget about these first results, and then try to go again for the second results. Yeah, kind of a tactical game to go. And let's see if we are seeing a little bit of Julian Wiemer on the third boulder. And this kind of swing. There you are, big close up. Do you have any favorite for today? Or any candidate that you think, okay, this is a clear winner? Yeah. Any favorite boulder so far? Big swing. Oh, there you are. Beautiful, perfect timing. And we're gonna bring the results so you are actualized, as there's a lot happening on. There you are. Those are the male. Everything is being led by Julian Wiemer with the only athlete of 2 tops. Let's see if he can get a third one. And female round gonna come up. So far, again on the top of the leaderboard, I know the Austrian Annie-Anne Franke with the only athlete with 4 tops. She topped everything. Followed by Edma Edwards with 3 tops and Amber Schifflers with 3 tops also. So a lot of tops so far. We like to see tops. Is this making you a little bit nervous? Yeah, Dirk Ulik actually was commenting with me after the whole final that he likes, actually from the viewer's point, to have 3 easy boulders or 3 boulders being quite topped, and then the last one making it quite hard, so you have the separation, because then people are quite interested. Oh wow, we just saw a catch from this German athlete. Wow, making a top on boulder number 2. That looks savage, to be honest. Yeah, but he was saying basically the 4th boulder is where we want to see the spread of the field, like people not topping it, a couple ones making a zone, a couple ones making a top, because then there's a lot more going on. The people are seeing tops, the people are getting kind of like entertained. Do you agree with this method, or because in Austria there's a kind of a way of like they like a more spread of field, like tops in not every single boulder being topped, but more like some kind of like a difference, like a spread of the field. Yeah, it can get super risky. I mean, and we're gonna see a close-up because we have 2 athletes. That's Lea Kempf on the last boulder. And on the first boulder we had to, and that's a top from Lea Kempf. Lea Kempf has had a really, really good season so far. She was 2nd in counters and 3rd in Soria. So she qualified yesterday first, that's why she came last now. And on boulder number 3 we're seeing the Spanish Iciar Martinez. We haven't seen a very good close-up of this start. Let's see if she can make it now. She's been also one of the shortest athletes. Probably going to have it a little bit easier for this toe hook. I mean, it's really hard to set for everybody a toe hook. As a root setter, Oh, there you are. Perfect. No problem. It can get quite tricky because some athletes will have the toe very close. Some will stay with the hips really far away. Kind of a. Yeah. Do you have any advice for anybody who's into route setting? How can you make it fair? Because I mean, the people are so different between the ape index to how tall they are. It's quite tricky. Yeah, but for example, Dirk was like what 190 or 195. And there we see again Ithiar. Was this kind of a jump going to the zone? And unfortunately, the Spanish athlete not making quite a lot of progress on her third boulder. Wow, display of power from Timotej Romsak from Slovenian boulder number 4. We have not seen any top on this boulder, so it will be really cool to see a close-up. 1 more minute to go. Half power scream going on. And unfortunately falls down. Let's see if we can see a replay. Okay, another go from the Slovenian athlete Timotej Romsak. I mean, a pretty physical boulder to not have even a second of a rest and just give it another go shows how strong these athletes are. And next rotation gonna come. No more athletes on boulder number 1, so we're gonna jump on to boulder number 2, number 3, and boulder number 4. Remember, they have 15 seconds to transition between the isolation to the mats and so back and forth. And then they have 4 minutes to top out all the boulders, a total of 4 boulders. The scores are being by the number of tops, followed by the number of zones, followed by the number of attempts they took for a top, and as last, the number of attempts they took for the zones. That's how they try to split the field of the contendants, and they've been tested. We've seen recently a second zone being brought into the boulders, and kind of a really long boulder. How is this for you, Dennis? I mean, you're going to have now a World Cup. Is this going to be the same method with 2 zones, or are you fan of this? What's your opinion to that? Yeah, I mean, they get really long boulders sometimes. I guess it's a little bit easy to split also the field. Yeah. I'm not top. Sorry, we just started at the top of boulder number 4. Yeah, really strong second top on the boulder number 4. And another top being fled by the British athlete. And 1 minute 30 to go. Unfortunately, we cannot get you a clock on the screen, but if you see now on the top, that's our reference point. There's about 2 clocks being set where we can guide ourselves, and we are anyway actualizing you when we cannot see it. My name is David Patterson, and I'm joined here by Dennis Bell from the Czech Republic. Yeah, how do you get into this route setting business? Were you a competition climber yourself, Dennis? And do you enjoy the transition between comps? I mean, there cannot be any better input than being yourself an athlete. You've been there, you've been on the mats, you know how the stress is, so you can kind of like put yourself into the position. Yeah, 4 minutes being given to these athletes. 22 seconds to go. Let's see if Julian Wimmer can make the first top on boulder number 4. Unfortunately, falls down. And we're going to have another rotation. So far, it's been pretty much perfect. We've had almost every single boulder being topped by different people. Let's see if we can see a top on boulder number 4, of course. The stronger athletes which qualified as first are coming last. So, yeah, let's see if we can get a bit more of this boulder number 4 of the men's round. And there we see Ithiar Martinez getting quite good on this boulder number 4 for the female. Let's see if we can get a close up. There we see the Spanish athlete quite high up. Already 2 athletes been there. Can she also make it? And no problem. It looked like a jug, to be honest. So strong. And let's try to get a close scene from boulder number 3 from this females round. That is Marilou Sommer. Marilou Sommer is now sitting currently into 7th position. She really needs a top. She cannot get to the podium, but let's see if she can get a top. Would do really well to jump up into position. And the Spanish athlete, Peinado Guillermo, he was 3rd in Kaunas. Let's see if he can get first onto this European Cup here in Graz. Currently sitting in 8th position, but of course he's only been in 2 boulders. He flashed boulder number 1, super strong, and I believe he also flashed boulder number 2. No, he didn't do 2nd attempt, but he's already jumped into 2nd position. I will get these results for you on screen. There you are, jumping into 2nd position, very, very strong. It's so cool to see how fast they learn these movements. It was like so easy now for the Swiss athlete. She got the start so fast. It's like a speed climb, almost. Reaching across. And unfortunately, it's kind of a blind jump. I mean, from this angle we cannot see it so well, but exactly where the line is between the zone and the top, there's kind of an edge. So the wall gets steeper and there's like, you're kind of blind jumping to it. Oh, there you are. This time she gets it. It took her like 10 seconds to get to the top again. A lot of athletes brushing, young athletes, future athletes, helping here. Wow, super strong. Super strong, the British athlete. That was Louise Frankart. Looking really close on boulder number 4, her rotation. And the German athlete Yannick Nagel, who was second in Saudi this year. He got really high on the top, but yeah, what was the idea of how do you pass the zone on boulder number 4? What is the trick? What are they doing wrong, Dennis? So no little secrets, it's just about pure power, raw strength. Actually, we are getting a kind of a close shot. There are 2 crimps of this big volume, and yeah, so tell us, like, there's these 2 crimps. I guess one you have with the left and one you have with the right. And how do you get to the top, actually? There you are. Looks super stretched. And at top by the British athlete, that was Louise Frankart. We just managed to get a top. So yeah, you're crossing with the left hand to this crimp. And where's the idea? Where do you step? Into the wall. Oh wow. So the board is progressively getting harder as you get higher. Wow, matches it. Super strong athlete. Unfortunately, not going to be enough for Nagel Yannick, which has got, I believe, less than a minute to go. Again, the German athlete going for the first method. Wow, that's such a big swing. And the French, Matteo Marobin on the third boulder onto this flashy swing. So we're going to be coming to an end. This is not a lot still to go, but don't forget we still have the Youth A finals coming up at 12. We'll have a little break. You can go to the toilet, refill your drinks, and for now, let's stay with the Spanish athlete Guillermo Peinado, which managed to top both boulders and is currently on second position. We're getting some comments. M4 looks ridiculously hard. I believe we agree here. Swing going, unfortunately not quite getting the amount of swing power that he needs, enough momentum to get. Is there really a lot about position, I guess, huh? And we're seeing another athlete, I believe this is Lea Kemp on boulder number 3, being topped. And also on boulder number 4, we see the Swiss athlete Marie-Lou Sommer. And another top, she's going to be quite happy about that. So for now, I think the female run is going to be decided on attempts. We had kind of a similar position yesterday. Maybe we respect it a little bit of a harder round, but I guess it's really hard to predict how fit those athletes are. And the Spanish athlete not quite making progress into his first boulder. He's sitting now in third position, so he still has got a podium guaranteed. But the top would do him really, really well. And this time he makes it. Let's see if he can get to the top. Guillermo Peinado from Spain. Looks horrible. And let's see if he can get another top. Only 20 seconds to go. Holds the zone. Wow, tries to cross and skip a hold. Fortunately not going to be enough. And both athletes not quite making the last of this boulder. Of course, we want to thank all our sponsors. Without them, this competition would not be possible. We're here in Blockhouse, and Austria team, the climbing team, have been providing also this cup. The IFSC Bergfuchs Wienerstädtische Graz, das Land Steiermark, Region Graz, Alpenverein, Kleine Zeitung and Soundportal have made this possible for you to be seen. For now, let's stay because 2 more athletes are jumping now onto the last boulders. So last 4 athletes are going to be being shown. This is Julie Roquebenot, sorry, excuse my French, from France, and Matteo Marovin, also from France. Matteo sitting now on 8th position, so a top would put him directly into 2nd position. Of course, we have not seen anybody, but he's been qualified as one of the strong ones. Maybe he gave a little bit too much yesterday in the qualifying round. Hopefully, he's going to have enough juice in the tank. And Julie having a red at the boulder. Awesome perspective from the top. Julie fighting really hard. Feet cut loose. She gets it. Holds the penultimate hold. Steps into the crimp. And another top for the French athlete, which secures a last perfect final rotation top. And let's see if his compatriot Matteo can also do the same. We've not seen anybody. And so far on the male side, we have had yesterday and today, I would say, like really, really good results, like a lot of different results. What could have gone better for the female, Dennis? Is this something that you think is easy to predict, or I mean, it's yeah, I mean, it's really hard, and you're always going to be there's always going to be somebody unsatisfied. Oh, that was a too easy round, or that was too hard, and it's always you're always on the spot being judged. So still, thanks a lot that you that you made this possible, and it's never an easy task. I guess there's always going to be somebody unhappy, but we're happy. A lot of tops. The athletes are happy to be here, and let's see if the French athlete Matteo can make another top. First top of boulder number 4, and unfortunately he's kind of not reading it as he would. Not so perfectly. He tried to skip again to the right, but then you would be in a position where you cannot get out. Exactly. And last athletes for this final juniors round. This is going to be Lea Kemp from the 4th boulder and Guillermo Peinado. Lea Kemp sitting with 3 tops on boulder on 8th position. Remember, there's been a lot of tops on the female side. We're gonna have to split them through attempts. Let's see what she can do. Big mud, feet cut loose. Again, we're getting this beautiful shot from the top onto the crimps. Looking like a really good round. Is it gonna be a flash? Looks like it's gonna be a flash. Stabilizing, and a flash for Lea Kemp. She's been looking really, really strong. And let's see, because she's just jumped into 1st position. Perfect for Lea Kemp. Really good results. And let's see if the Spanish athlete can make a top on boulder number 4. We've seen 2 athletes getting really close. Not having enough juice. Yes. Again, high shot from this campus move. Not quite stabilizing his position. And the last 2 minutes are remaining for the very last boulder of this juniors round. Don't forget, we're gonna have the final Youth A at 12 o'clock. We'll have a little bit of a break. The athletes will jump into isolation and they will warm up. And in 1 hour, we're gonna have the final of the Youth A, female and male. Goes again. Now going for a heel hook method. Not quite finding himself comfortable in this position, as we saw other athletes like Nimrod Tunsnadi, which was heel hooking and going with the left. Guillermo didn't look very comfortable. Choosing to campus and trying to step foot plant onto the next hold. Unfortunately, it's a dual texture, so I don't know if this is going to be helping him a lot. We're going to be jumping into the last minute of this boulder. Let's see what Guillermo can do. I mean, you're getting such a big swing to the right. Wow, almost holding it with one hand. "20 seconds to go." Going again for the heel hook method, but he's not keeping his heel. That's the problem. And I think he doesn't fancy it anymore. He's having enough. Yeah, pretty interesting final. Let's see how the results show up. We're going to have to let you go. Thanks a lot, Dennis, for your time and your inputs into this final. It was a pleasure to have you here. And all the best in your hometown, set it in Prague for the World Cup. Thank you. And that was Dennis Bale, an IFSC route setter from the Czech Republic. We're going to have a look at the results. Those are the route setters making some adjustments. I'm going to be changing the boulders for the Youth A final. And those are the male results. Etienne Apriat won with 2 tops and 4 zones in 4 attempts. In 5 attempts, sorry. Then we had Guillermo Peinado, which managed to get also 2 top but 3 zones. That's why he's sitting in 2nd position and not 3rd position. Followed by Julian Wimmer with 2 tops and 3 zones. The difference is like he made it in 4 attempts and Guillermo made it in 3rd. And we're gonna see the female results popping out. A perfect round by Lea Kempf, which managed to top every single boulder in 6 attempts. Followed by the Netherlands athlete Amber Schiefeles with also 4 tops and 4 zones on 7 attempts. And last but not least, the Great Britain athlete Louise Flockhart with 4 tops and 4 zones in 8 attempts. We would have liked to see more of a split into this female round, as we saw a little bit too easy. This was saying that the final, the qualifying round was quite hard, but they thought that the level was perfect for the final. It was a similar level, unfortunately. Not enough split on the field. We're going to have a little bit of a break. We're going to be coming back at 12. We're here in BLOC House at the European Youth Cup from Graz 2023. So we'll make a break, go to the toilet, fill up your drinks, get some food, and we'll see you back at 12 o'clock for the Youth A final for the female and the male.